Thanks, Ryan. So I'm just going to walk you through real quick, the most important part of design, which is how do you get this awesome document. So just give me a second here. So what we designed is a one-stop shop. I like to acknowledge Colin McCormick, who's our great website designer on this. So the website is modelstreetdesignmanual.com. You'll see just kind of the basic landing page, has a little bit about the manual, and then you can preview what the chapters are to get a sense of what's inside. Also the contributors, so the picture that Ryan showed earlier, but then you can really start to see why this document has so much weight, is that just really leading people work on it. The sponsors, just here, which is the Department of Public Health and the Luskin Center for Innovation. And then at this spot, so we have a few frequently asked questions. We kind of did a little preview event, and we started to understand, what are the types of questions that people are going to have, especially on city staff. So specifically, like, why is this called a manual? Maybe in your typical manual, you might see a lot of very technical, but this is very wide breadth of information, and it really details what you want to, elements you want to include, not necessarily specifically how, while there's a great deal of technical advice as well. One big concern, I think, when you're trying to do living streets is about the fire code, so there's a question about that, and then legal standing. And then as we're starting to get feedback, we'll be updating this site as well. And then lastly, we want to kind of do some training on the manual. So on this side of the page, we're thinking about webinars or other type of venues that we can really help people understand the document, how do they actually use it, how do they adopt it, and what is included. So then, the most importantly is the download page. What we have available is 3 different formats. So there's the PDF, which I think is most people are familiar with, and that's going to be the really easy. But the whole point of kind of a lot of this is that we want to make it very easy to get these ideas into city manuals themselves. So not just, well, how do I kind of paraphrase that paragraph? The whole point is we want cities, anyone just be able to take it and run with it. The only thing that we ask is that the acknowledgements page is maintained, because that's really people that worked on it. So that's why you'll see here you can both get the Microsoft Word document and the entire Adobe InDesign format. So if you want to have it look the same, the point is we want to make it really easily available. So right now, when you click on any of these, it's going to take you to a registration, just because I think a lot of people, when you work in non-motorized world, you realize how little data there is. So we want to actually be able to count. So I sat at my desk, and when I left this morning, already 120 people had downloaded, which was super exciting. But we're just going to be able to say who is doing this. I mean, for example, the Alabama Department of Transportation downloaded the document. So really understand that this is going to go out to a really wide audience. And a part of the story that we're trying to tell, like Bill explained, is that what we might lack maybe in the actual on-the-ground products in Los Angeles, we have the vision. We have the intellectual capacity for what really we want to do going forward. So that's why then after you kind of give us your information, it's pretty brief, then you'll just go to the download page. There will be, right now, how it's working is that for the Word document or the InDesign, you're actually going to get a zip package. We know it's a really, really big document, and you might be a little impatient. So probably the next week or so, we're going to be doing a couple modifications so that you can just get a chapter, so you don't have to wait, 2 hours for it to download. So with that, we just really hope that you distribute the link. There's little cards that have the website design. And I think with that, that's the end of our program tonight. I want to thank you all very much for coming, and hope you have a great evening and talking about all the concepts that are in the manual.